Hello, my name is Bryshan Francis, and this book talk video will be about the #1 bestseller horror novel, The Shining, which was written by the talented author Stephen King. Stephen King was born in Portland, Maine on September 21st, 1947. When he was a toddler, both his parents had separated, and he was left with his mother and his brother, David. He attended grammar school during his high school years, and he married his wife on January 2nd in 1971. Later that year, he would write some short stories and some amazing novels. In 1973, Stephen King's mother had gone very sick, and he had to take care of her back in Portland, Maine. Stephen King has written many novels such as Salem's Lot, The Stand, The Dead Zone, and The Shining. The Shining was inspired when Stephen and his wife had gone to the Stanley, a hotel in Estes Park. They had been the only ones who had booked a room, and the hotel had been closed for the winter. Stephen had wandered in the halls and thought of it as a good setting for his new novel. During the night at the hotel, he had a dream where his son was screaming and chased by the fire hose. This scene was used in the novel later on. The quote from the novel is, "He came down on the other side of the hose and ran. Suddenly he heard it behind him coming for him," on page 187. Stephen had woken up and had a cigarette and thought about the idea for the novel. The Shining takes place at the haunted Overlook Hotel in the Colorado Rockies during the winter. The main characters in this horror novel are Jack Torrance, Danny, Wendy, Dick Halloran, Stuart Ullman, Lawrence Derwent, Tony, Watson, Al Shockley, and George Hatfield. The plot of the story is a unique one, in which the Torrance family is struggling to stay together since Jack Torrance, the father of the family, is an alcoholic and had beat Danny at a young age for misbehaving and broke his arm. The short-tempered alcoholic Jack Torrance is fired from his teaching job after he assaulted a student named George Hatfield. After he got fired, Jack's immature and also alcoholic friend Al Shockley had managed to find him a job at the Overlook Hotel as a caretaker during the winter while they were closed for the season. There, he meets the pretentious owner Stuart Ullman and the current caretaker Watson, and they show Jack around the hotel and how to manage it. Before everyone leaves and it's just the Torrances all alone in the hotel, Dick Halloran, the friendly hotel chef, talks to Danny. He tells Danny that he has a very special power called The Shining. This means that Danny can read people's minds. Everyone has left the hotel to go to Florida to take care of another hotel, and Jack, Danny, Wendy are all left alone in the eerie Overlook Hotel. They will encounter various issues involving the haunted hotel and Jack's alcohol addiction. Will Danny and Wendy escape Jack's insane behavior? How will Danny use The Shining to save him and his mother? You must read the novel to find out. The Shining has many engaging themes and moods. One of the most phenomenal themes in this novel is family. The Torrance family is struggling to stay close together, and the hotel is their last resort to bond together with no distractions. The novel shows that the Torrance family really wants to become a normal family, but Jack must control his anger and sacrifice alcohol for good. Another captivating theme and a perfect text-to-world example in this novel is alcohol abuse. A quote from the novel on page 63 says, "He had a bad temper, one he could no longer keep wholly under control now that he was drinking so heavily." The novel brilliantly shows what being an alcoholic can do to a family. It shows that it will separate the family, cause terror, and violence. The major mood from the novel is fright. The horrific novel instills fear while reading it, and it makes you feel scared for the characters and the events they are participating in. My favorite character from the novel is Jack Torrance. He is my favorite character because he is a very detailed, round character. His background story about his childhood makes you feel sympathetic for him, about his awful drunk father. You also feel ashamed for him, as you found out he had assaulted a student and broken his son's arm out of anger. Jack's change in personality throughout the novel is also enticing and makes you want to read more about him. In conclusion, the classic horror novel, The Shining, written by the proficient author Stephen King, is an excellent read. I highly recommend reading this tremendous bestseller novel, because I can assure you, you will not be able to put this book down once you have started reading it. There are many compelling subplots to read about in this novel, and you will feel incredibly attached to the characters. I hope you enjoy the novel as much as I did. Thank you for viewing my book talk.